If you deal with rust, you know it's this constant, expensive headache. But what if the best weapon in that fight wasn't grit or chemicals? What if it was just a beam of light? In this explainer, we're diving deep into the science and the savings of laser rust removal.
So first, let me ask you something straight up. Think about how you're handling rust right now. Sandblasting, dipping parts in harsh chemicals? Are you absolutely sure that method isn't secretly costing you way more than you think? We're talking materials, cleanup, and even damage to your parts. It's a serious question, and it could be hitting your business right where it hurts.
So let's break it all down. We're going to peel back the curtain on the hidden costs of those old-school methods. And then we're going to explore a powerful modern solution that's really changing the game for all kinds of industries. Okay, let's start with the obvious, the problems. I mean, what's actually so bad about the way we've always gotten rid of rust? Well, if you look at this direct comparison, it becomes pretty clear. Sandblasting is just brute force, right? It can actually chew up the good metal right underneath the rust. And chemicals? They create nasty, hazardous waste and can even make the metal brittle over time. The real kicker, though, is that with both of them, you are constantly buying more materials. It's a never-ending cycle of spending and creating new problems.
And all those problems, they lead to some very real and pretty high costs. You know, that initial price for a sandblaster might seem low, but trust me, that is just the tip of the iceberg. Let's actually look at the numbers.
First off, consumables. Just for a typical sandblasting operation, you can expect to spend anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 every single year. That's just for the abrasive media you're constantly blowing through the machine, and that cost never, ever goes away.
And hey, if you're using chemicals, it's not just the cost of the chemicals themselves. You've got to pay to get rid of the hazardous waste. That can easily add another $500 to $3,000 to your annual bill, not to mention all the regulatory headaches that come with it.
But you know what the biggest hidden cost is? It's time. The time you spend on the actual cleaning, and then all the extra time you spend cleaning up after the cleaning. It's crazy. One auto restoration shop told us that by switching away from their old methods, they cut their prep and cleanup time by a staggering 70%. Just imagine that. What would you do if you got 70% of your time back? So if the old ways are dirty, damaging, and super expensive, what's the alternative? Well, it's a technology that sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie, but it is very, very real, and it's all about erasing rust with nothing but pure light. The technology behind it all is called laser ablation. Now here's the simple version. The laser fires a high-intensity beam of light. Rust and other contaminants just soak up that energy, but the clean, shiny metal underneath, it reflects it. This is brilliant because it means the laser only targets what you want to remove, leaving the base material totally untouched. And this shows you exactly how it works, and it all happens in a fraction of a second. First, the rust absorbs the light. Second, it heats up instantly. Third, it vaporizes. It turns directly from a solid into a gas. And finally, that rapid expansion creates a tiny shockwave that just ejects any leftover particles away. It's clean, it's simple, and it's incredibly effective.
This right here, this really says it all. Because the laser is just light, there are zero consumables to buy, ever. Because it's a non-contact process that only targets the rust, there is zero damage to your part. And because the rust is vaporized, there's virtually zero secondary cleanup. You just clean the part, and you're done.
Now, I know what you're probably thinking. This sounds expensive, and yes, the initial investment is higher. But, and this is a big but, when you factor in all the savings, the return on your investment is incredibly fast. Let's talk about that payback period. The first key to making this affordable is to cut out the middleman. A lot of buyers overpay by 30, even 40% just by going through dealers. When you buy factory direct, you immediately slash that entry cost right from the start. Now, take a look at this 5-year cost breakdown. Yep, the laser has a higher upfront cost, no doubt. But by year 2, you're already saving money compared to sandblasting. And by year 5, you are thousands of dollars ahead. And why? Because your only ongoing cost is electricity. We're talking pennies on the dollar compared to an endless bill for consumables.
And you don't have to be some massive corporation to see these benefits. For a small restoration shop, the machine can pay for itself in about 14 to 18 months. For a mid-size manufacturing facility, you're looking at 10 to 14 months. And for large industrial operations, that payback can happen in as little as 6 months.
Okay, so maybe you're sold on the why. Now let's get practical and talk about the how.
Choosing the right laser is crucial, and it really comes down to one key decision.
The main choice you have is between a continuous wave or CW laser and a pulsed laser. Think of it this way. A CW laser is like a steady, powerful stream from a garden hose. It's strong, it's fast, and it's great for heavy-duty jobs. A pulsed laser is more like a high-pressure washer that fires in short, controlled bursts. It's incredibly precise, generates almost no heat, and is absolutely perfect for delicate work.
So here's the bottom line. For thick metal and really heavy rust where speed is the name of the game, you're going to choose a CW laser. It's also the more budget-friendly option. But for thin body panels, expensive molds, or historical artifacts where you absolutely cannot risk any damage, you need the precision of a pulsed laser.
Let's just end with this. Forget the technology for a minute and just think about the impact. What would you do with 70% more productive time in your shop? What could you invest back into your business with an extra $5,000 a year? That is the real potential of switching to laser rust removal.